everyone. It's your boy Ghost Rider. I like to welcome you guys to the first ever cruising with Ghost Rider, man. You know what I'm saying? If you guys follow the content on Instagram, y'all see yesterday, man, I actually made it to New York City, man. That was so awesome. It was so awesome. Bro, it's my first time ever being in New York, you know? I've been to so many cities all over America. I'm talking about just in 2025 alone. Like straight up, like just in 2025, man, I've been to on this tour. So I start like in Nashville. Man, I'm saying I go to like all kind of little smaller cities like Springfield, Illinois. You know, go up to Chicago, Detroit, Ann Arbor. You know, Kalamazoo, all the small cities in Michigan, Cleveland, over to Pennsylvania, Erie, Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? And then, go to Hartford, Connecticut, and Springfield, Massachusetts, and to end up in New York City, man. I think that was just awesome. That was so awesome. So, guys, I'm glad y'all are with me this morning. I would like to say good morning. As you guys come into the stream, whenever y'all are viewing this content, I ask that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell. Man, I'm saying, like, guys, if you guys like catch me on this tour sometime during this tour, man, we're gonna do some amazing things. You know what I'm saying? Like riding with ghosts, so if you guys don't know, the We the People tour is pretty much done. So we through with that. Moving forward, the riding with ghosts, when we do that, man, it's like I'm gonna pull up in Philadelphia, man. Pull up in Maryland, man. It's gonna be so cool. So I really look forward to that. But man, I'm expecting people probably to come into the stream later. I'm not gonna hold you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the content because I think there's a lot to cover with this. You know what I'm saying? It's the first ever episode of Riding with Ghost Rider, as I've told you guys 10,000 times. So as you guys come into the stream, after you watch this video, I ask that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the notification bell, guys. Let's get into it. So, guys, once again, in the news, we have Jeffrey Epstein. How many of you guys have heard? Jeffrey Epstein, if you guys do not watch the news, I'm here to tell you he's a hot topic. Okay? So the government opens back up because some of the Democrats didn't have the backbone and they couldn't hold their coalition. That's just the bottom line facts. They didn't have the strength. And I got a news story. We're going to go over the Democrats who didn't hold the line. They didn't have the strength and they couldn't hold their coalition. And President Trump said he was going to break them the whole time. Let's be real now. So now we go back to the Stone Ages and we talk about Jeffrey Epstein. You guys got to focus. You got to concentrate. Forget the microphone, forget the studio, forget the Shaz and Kabaz. You got to focus, man. Listen to me, okay? President Trump's advisors, it seems like they're finally listening to Ghost, and they're talking about, number one, giving a $2,000 stipend to every American. Have you guys heard about that? If you have not heard about that, that's what President Trump and them are talking about. And number two, President Trump, finally, and I've been saying this for the longest of time, they're talking about President Trump finally hitting the road doing town halls about the cost of living. Now, if you ask me, doing that, not only does it kill the Democrats' momentum because the Democrats' momentum looks like it might be stalling a little, but it also gives the Republicans momentum of their own. And instead of constantly punching that cost of living drum, guys, I know it gets boring sometimes to keep talking about cost of living. I know it's not fun. I know it's not interesting. Listen, for Jasmine Crockett, it's some of these people is their job. So she's on these committees and they're doing investigations and they're looking through emails. That's different. She's going to come out and she's going to talk about that. Caitlin Collins, salute Caitlin Collins. She one of the best in the game. She's a reporter. She's going to investigate this. But I'm talking about these candidates like Mandami. Think about if Mandami is running and he's talking about Jeffrey Epstein like the Democrats did. Or if they're not talking about Epstein, they're talking about Russia. Or if they're not talking about Russia, all you need to talk about is the problems that the American people face. And that's the cost of living. The Democrats had that momentum. They was on it, man. Talking about the Obamacare subsidies. Okay, you lost in the short term. I wouldn't quit talking about those subsidies because the American people are starting to feel it now. Does that make sense? The American people are now about to start feeling those Obamacare subsidies. It wasn't a farce, wasn't it? It really was going to cost them more money, right? So they're going to start feeling it in his pocket. Why would you talk about Epstein? You don't take some temporary loss because you can't hold a line and then do a whole pivot and start talking about stuff that don't matter. That does not matter. Even Caitlin Collins, when I'm listening to her talking about the new information, like I said, that's her job. I'm talking about these other Democrats. Even Caitlin Collins talking about the information, she's saying that he was never accused of any wrongdoing. So until he's accused of any wrongdoing, he is the president of the United States. So America is going to continue with the business until he's accused of some wrongdoing. America is continuing with this business. So I don't understand or want to hear really about Jeffrey Epstein. Talk to me about those high home prices and how inflation, grocery prices overall, they did report this. Caitlin did report this. Grocery prices overall are up 1.7%. That's what matters. That's what the Americans people care about. You saying you were going to lower them on day one. That's what I'm talking about. You could talk about Jeffrey Epstein and you could get in his head. But I'm saying with the American voters, eventually the American voters are going to grow tired of hearing of Jeffrey Epstein, guys. If y'all have not known that yet, I'm sure a lot of political pundits, a lot of investigative reporters, they're going to stay and keep the story alive. But I'm talking about the typical American voter. Y'all need to view him and his group viewpoint, and that's ghostwriter. And meanwhile, President Trump's advisors are talking about giving $2,000 to the American people. That's what the American people want to hear. And President Trump's about to hit them town halls. Okay? The Democrats don't need to divert and jumping back to a failed strategy. That's in serious danger of overplaying the story if you keep talking about it. And the only thing they are getting out of it, they the Dems, is that they're getting in President Trump's head. That's what I just said. I don't see the Democrats winning strategy with this hand. President Trump is good with the people. And if he hit the road doing rallies and town halls, that won't make up for the pain that Americans feeling. Like, I heard a lot of pundits, and I respect this, guys. I would appreciate if y'all continue to drop down in the comments and y'all let y'all voices be heard. But I heard a lot of pundits, guys. They were talking about saying that, President Trump, he can't gaslight the American people because that's what President Biden was doing. He was trying to gaslight the American people, telling them the economy was good, but people know what they feeling. They know what they spending. They know how much money they have, or they know how much money they don't have. So you're saying he can't gaslight the American people, and I feel that. But what I'm trying to say is this. I'm trying to say he's good with speaking with the people. He's good with connecting with the people. So his message just need to be on point. He don't need to go out there and try to say, hey, the economy's good like he's doing. He needs to say, hey, I need to work some policies. I got some things I need to work out, but it's going to get better. I promise y'all. Y'all, let's just keep on getting at it. A president pretty much is a coach, man. He's like a motivational speaker for the country. He does have jobs and duties and policies. President Trump, he overworks, or I say he exerts those duties and policies. But I'm saying the president pretty much is a motivational speaker. And that's what he needs to do. I'm saying, to me, President Trump is divisive for you to say that there isn't a cost of living problem, because half the nation and the American people are saying that it is. So going out there trying to sell the economy like it's in good condition, I think it's a tremendous mistake. I think you just need to go out there and be truthful like you was. That helped you win the election. Guys, excuse me. As y'all come in the stream, I ask that y'all like the video, double tap the screen, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. But guys, I don't see the Democrats winning hand in this strategy, okay? President Trump's good with the people and doing rallies and town halls. Although it don't make up for the pain that the Americans are really feeling, it can and will possibly buy him some time. Time for what, Ghost? Hey, why not try an executive order to take temporary control out of the price gouging? That's the idea. I mean, shoot, on this he can, and what he could do is get Mike Johnson to actually call a king, because I believe the Democrats would be willing to do some bipartisan legislation on the cost of living. It will help their fight as well with the American people. It'll help the American people. You got to always realize this. Beyond the politics, there's real people in America that's feeling real pain behind these real policies from these real politicians. We got to always remember that. There's real people in America feeling real pain behind these real policies of these real politicians. Never forget that. So when the politicians are successful, and that's why I'm always hoping and wishing that they're successful, when they're successful, it helps the whole, it helps the American people, it helps Ghost, the disabled veteran. That's how I could speak to these issues so well. So guys, the government's back open, and we will talk about how we got to that point and what that means. But because President Trump has a cost of living problem. Yes, you do, President Trump. You have a cost of living problem. Until them prices get down, you will continue, President Trump, to have a cost of living problem. Got to get them prices down to have a chance in 2026. But until he could get it figured out, he's going to try to take his case to the American people. So we got news coming up, and I'm not rambling this morning. I'm getting to something. This is a pivotal point in American politics. Old Donald Trump is trying to remake the system. And this isn't a matter of opinion. It's a matter of fact. And you hear the Democrats talk about this all the time. What the Democrats did from the timeline of the Fighting Oligarchy tour to all of Governor Newsom's lawsuits, seriously, to standing on the Obamacare subsidies that Nancy Pelosi fought so hard for, to the 7 million people and over 2,000 cities at the No Kings rallies. This isn't what caused them to clean house on election day. That's not what caused the Democrats to win. People are confused. It was those candidates, each and every one of them, like Mandami. I like him as a person. He seemed like a cool dude that I would hang out with. I'm saying Mandami won because he was talking about the thing that all Americans most say it's all about. And that's the economy, stupid. It's the cost of living. Guys, one more time before we jump into the news and analysis, I like that you ask that you'll like the video. If you're on a cell phone, just double tap your screen, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Also, guys, everyone is welcome in this stream. I just ask that you guys be respectful to each other. I welcome you guys, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats. Jump down in the comments and let your voices be heard. Now let's start the conversation. One last thing, guys. guys, we do have the bills. I have to pay the bills. I don't have any sponsors, not taking no money from no party, no one but guys like you. So super chat, super thanks, super stickers. If you want to donate to the channel or start a conversation, they start at 99 cents. Just hit the button with the $ in it, and your donations are much appreciated. So, guys, our news source that we're going to start with today is the Associated Press, and it was published on October the 10th. The senators, so there's 8 senators in total, faced almost instant blowback from Democrats as they broke ranks and voted to allow the Senate to move forward on compromise legislation that will reopen the government. I said the Democrats, they had it smoking, man. They really did, bruh. The Democrats, they had it going, bruh. I mean, if you think about like what I called out starting with the Fighting Oligarchy tour and that build up and that strategy and that fighting back all the way to the election time and winning those elections, man, they had it going for them, but then they just lost the momentum. And the reason why they lost the momentum is because of these 8 senators. They couldn't hold a line. Their decision Sunday night was labeled as a betrayal. Yes, it would be. And pathetic. Yes, it should be. By some of the most prominent voices in the Democratic Party. And who is the first senator you think they're going to say? The Associated Press. To my mind, this was a very, very bad note, said Senator Bernie Sanders, a Vermont Democrat who caucuses with the Democrats. Oh, yes. You know Senator Sanders, you know AOC, they all standing firm. It's not just about the healthcare subsidies. It's about President Trump spitting on your party, stepping on your party, plucking and picking on your party, sending troops to your cities, going after your institutions like Harvard. It's about President Trump trying to punk you. That's what it's about. It's not just about SNAP. It's not just about healthcare subsidies. It's about them taking some of the biggest legislation in U.S. history, the largest tax cut in U.S. history, and shoving it down the throat of all of Americans, even Americans who didn't want that big, beautiful bill, without no kind of input from nobody else besides Republicans. That's what that was about. The group of defectors consisted of several senators who are retiring next year. Oh, so they found some senators who were going to retire. Oh, as well as a number of former governors. So Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson of Louisiana praised them Monday morning, saying they decided to put principle over their personal politics. Guys, I can almost 1,000% guarantee you guys behind the scenes that there was some plotting and some cloaking and some dipping and some dabbing and some go talk to him and talk to them and some backroom deals going on behind the scenes. I could promise you that. President Trump and them was pulling strings to get this done behind the scenes. The senators surely knew the criticism that was coming, but after huddling for hours, often in the Senate basement over the last week, each senator reached the same conclusion. It's time for the government shutdown to end. So they just sided with Republicans. Who are these senators, big ghosts that sided with Republicans? We're going to start with Senator Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire. So Shaheen, a senior Democrat who will be retiring from the Senate. That lets you know she ain't got to worry about it. Maybe they threw her a bone. Who knows what happened? But she going to be retiring from the Senate. Since she going to be retiring from the Senate, often took the lead in negotiating the compromise legislation to end the shutdown, she had made it a priority to extend subsidies for health plans offered under the Affordable Care Act. But she had also expressed reservations about voting to shut down the government. In the end, she settled for a pledge from Senate Majority Leader John Thune of South Dakota to hold a vote on the health care subsidies. So how that vote goes, in my opinion, whether she's retiring or not, will depend on how good of the decision she made. If they hold the vote, which I'm sure they almost have to hold the vote. And I'm saying if when the vote is held, if the Democrats are able or some kind of deal or compromise is made and the subsidies are extended, then I would say that was a great decision. Because in my opinion, all that matters is the end result. It would have been great if the Democrats would have been able to force President Trump to the table. Y'all listen to me this morning. Ghost be cooking, man. Listen to me. Tell me I'm not telling y'all the truth, man. I'm up here pouring out my heart to y'all. Tell me it would not have been great if the Democrats, think about the feeling the Democrats would have had if President Trump would have had to come make a deal, if he would have had to bend. But I'm just saying it didn't go that way. And the Democrats didn't hold the line. So even though the Democrats won the election, if you look at the outside optics of it, it still makes President Trump look stronger. But I don't think making President Trump looking stronger or the Republicans looking stronger really matters. I think what really matters is affordability, man. I'm going to get to that. This was the only deal on the table. It was our best chance to reopen the government and immediately begin negotiations to extend the ACA tax credit that tens of millions of Americans rely on to keep the costs down. I would say that it would benefit the Republican Party too to extend those tax credits. When you guys say so, guys, y'all like the video. If y'all are in the stream, I ask that y'all double tap the screen for me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Guys, I know I'm starting a whole lot earlier than I usually start, but whenever I'm streaming, I'm going to be streaming earlier. So y'all rock with me, cruise, me rocking with Ghost Rider, but I'm still delivering the same great content. Okay, so we got Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois. Durbin is another senator who will be retiring after a long Senate career. So if you guys haven't heard of old Dick Durbin from Illinois, man, I've heard of him. He aligned in the Democratic Party, but like some of the other senators, he's going to be retiring. So I guess he's not really worried about the consequences. So Durbin holds the number 2 position in Democratic leadership and broke ranks with Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer of New York after saying that the shutdown had caused too much pain for the American people. In a statement before the vote, Durbin, who argued that Republicans are still to blame for the shutdown, said this bill is not perfect, but it takes important steps to reduce their shutdown's hurt. Not only will it fully fund SNAP for the year ahead, but it will reverse the mass firings the Trump administration ordered before the shutdown. So he's got a little argument. There's good to that. You know what I'm saying? So if you're saying that, okay, we could reopen the government and looking at it like that, you could get some gains back. Like, hey, we could get some of the firings that he had. And hey, we could get SNAP back. You know, we could get some gains if we reopen the government. And we still, hey, Ghost, we still got that healthcare subsidy fight. We still got to negotiate because that still hurts the Republican Party. Those subsidies still hurt the Republican Party regardless. So I'm saying you can really look at that from that perspective, and it works that way too. That's what I'm saying. If the Democrats strategize right, or if the Republicans strategize right, that's why I'm always in the middle. It just depends on the moves that you make. President Trump promising $2,000 stipend, and then if he goes out there and hits the road, that's moving his strategy in the right way. But he doesn't need to be out there saying that affordability is not a problem because he sounds like he's out of touch. Affordability is a problem. And at the same time, the Democrats, hey, they still got this. It's like the same position that they're in, and they still got the healthcare subsidy fight. But what Hakeem Jeffries and AOC and Bernie Sanders is saying, they're trying to stand firm and fight against President Trump and what they think is an authoritarian push. Or if you're just a political observer, you would definitely admit that if it's not an authoritarian push, it's at least a stomping. He's trying to stomp them out, man. So Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia, a former Virginia governor, was one of the last Democrats to join a group willing to vote to advance the bill. He said that as late as Sunday evening, he was checking over the legislation with his staff. For him, the deciding factor was the language in the funding bill that prevents President Donald Trump's administration from conducting more mass layoffs. So it seems like a lot of these governors who was voting to fund this bill, it seems like they were thinking about those layoffs. So in Virginia, a bunch of federal workers in Virginia, and he's thinking about a lot of the workers that have been laid off. That's what's important to him, okay? An issue is particularly important for his state, just as I said in Virginia. He called the agreement a moriatum of mischief and said he was only able to get the agreement as negotiations reached a crucial juncture. The kinds of just, non-strategic mass firings and reduction in force actions that have traumatized federal employees since Inauguration Day, they can't do them no more, Kaine said. So after Tim Kaine, we got Senator Maggie Hassan of New Hampshire. Hassan, a former governor, had been involved with negotiations from early on and emphasized that the threats to federal food aid had made the situation more urgent. So it seemed like her thing was the food aid. Hassan said that she heard from families about the deep pain that the government shutdown has caused, made worse by a president who illegally and reportedly chose to cut off help for families who were just trying to buy food for groceries. After weeks of bipartisan conversations, she said Sunday, I voted today to reopen the government so that we could get back to the work of helping granite starters. The government funding bill refills funds from the Supplemental Nutrient Assistance Program, as well as ensuring that states that spent their own funds to keep it running during the shutdown will get reimbursed. Guys, if y'all have not liked the video, I ask that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell, guys. We just going over some of the senators who had decided to break ranks. We basically just going over some of the senators who were not strong enough to hold up, man, against President Trump. Look, as I listen to the senators, okay, if you're talking about the government workers, I think that's one thing. But as I listen to the senators, and these senators are saying that, talking about the food assistance, what I'm saying is where President Trump at? Where's Speaker Johnson at? So while the kids ain't getting fed, actually President Trump could the judge ordered him, he was going to have to do something, make a little kind of moves. But I'm saying President Trump had the authority to continue those. I mean, he got tariff money. He can move money around, probably a little bit more authority than most other presidents. So he could have kept that SNAP program running. But he chose to let him start too. So if I was a senator vote, I'm saying, how can my conscience feel bad? My conscience does, of course, feel bad for the children and the families who are going without. But I'm saying, like, I couldn't feel bad. That wouldn't make me go vote yes, because President Trump and them on the other side, they doing the same thing. Everybody's standing still. So I'm saying that's not going to make me break. Because how I'm thinking, why President Trump don't break? Why don't he call Hakeem thinking about the kids? He ain't got no bleeding heart. He could actually feed them if he wanted to. But he wasn't doing it. So that wouldn't have made me break. Guys, if you have not liked the video, I ask that you'll like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. My boy Lyrical Mango Apple says, I will agree with your point. If you wear your cap sideways, hey, look, I don't have to wear the cap sideways for you to agree. If I'm speaking the truth, I'm speaking the truth. Odin says, enjoy your war on intelligence and on children. I don't understand that. Like, I mean, I guess y'all talking about this Jeffrey Epstein thing, man. You know? And I'll dip into this with you for a little bit, man, just to let you know, to give you talking about a war on intelligence. Listen, if you had a trillion times, everyone has had a trillion times, all of the Trump haters, I'm not a Trump. I never voted for President Trump. Okay, understand that. But all of the Trump haters have had a trillion times to prove that President Trump and Jeffrey Epstein did something unethical. That you've had that many times to prove that before President Trump ever, I mean, before he ever was elected president a second time. Am I right or wrong? So I'm saying he was still elected president. Because of that, he is the sitting president of the United States of America. So I'm saying while you got your shovels and you digging and you scratching and you kicking and you bucket and you trying to find some dirt on him, until you try to find the dirt, guess what still has to happen? 8 years, 9 years, 20 years, 50 years after you try to find the dirt. While you trying to find the dirt, guess what still has to happen? America still, the business of America has to go on. Affordability still, those problems have to be solved. Prices, the cost of living is too high. You still got to create jobs. You still got to deal with a situation in Venezuela where I'm in stark support. I don't care who is not in support. I'm in 1,000,000,000% support a regime change in Venezuela. You got a Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, do we not care about democracy? Now, the way President Trump goes about doing it is one thing, but I'm saying we got a Nobel Peace Prize winner in Venezuela right now. All we have to do is move the drug deal out the way, man. It's a drug. You got a president. Your president in Venezuela pretty much is a drug dealer, man. And those big facts. You see what I'm saying? And I'm saying you got a Nobel Peace Prize winner right now in Venezuela, ready to take over. So, I mean, it's just about the way President Trump wants to go about doing it. That's what it matters to me. But the big thing to me is the Democrats folded. They didn't have to fold. It killed their momentum. You see what I'm saying? It made President Trump come out stronger and look stronger. But even though you look stronger, President Trump, and I will say, like, at the end of that, or you could say that, I don't know if you say the shutdown fight helped contribute to the Democrats winning the elections that they won. So I can't say that. You could say the Democrats lost that whole fight, but I can't say a lot of points in that fight. In the end, especially, it looks like a Republican win. And that win deadened the momentum the Democrats had. But what I'm saying, President Trump has to build on that, or the Democrats going to pick it right back up, because those healthcare subsidies are going to rise. The cost of living is not getting lower. He's going to have to do something substantial to be able to deal with this situation. Guys, if y'all have not liked the video, I ask that y'all double tap the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Also, guys, I see y'all down in the comments this morning, guys. I welcome all you guys in the comments. I ask that y'all just be respectful to each other. Republicans, independents, and Democrats, jump down in the comments and let your voices be heard. And one last thing, guys, we do have to pay the bills. I don't have any sponsors yet. I'm not taking no money from no party, just you guys. So if you guys want to donate to the channel, if you guys want to start a conversation or have your comment read, super chat, super stickers, and super thanks, they all start at 99 cents. Just hit the button with the $sign in it, and your donations are much appreciated. So, guys, I'll go on with the story. I said from October earlier. I apologize. I misspoke. It's from November the 10th. So we'll talk about Senator Angus King of Maine. So we're talking about all the senators who decided to break with their party, who decided to break ranks and decided to go with President Trump and Mike Johnson. I'm saying this is a president who has been stomping on your party. I'm not a Democrat. So I'm saying I'm just a spectator watching it happen. Like the majority of Americans, not your Democratic Party, the majority of Americans, but I'm saying he been stomping on your party. Besides that, if you're not paying attention to him stomping on your party, he's governing without, just from MAGA, just from what he's governing from. So I'm saying, like, I mean, the majority of the America isn't MAGA. The majority of America didn't even vote for him. He only got 47% of the vote. Am I right or wrong? So I'm saying, if you ask me, I'm saying, like, I mean, when you gonna take a stand? If this ain't the time to take a stand, when you gonna stand? And I'm saying they broke ranks primarily from what we read. We finna read about Angus King, but primarily what we read, the senators broke ranks because of the all the federal employees that get their jobs back, and because of the SNAP benefits. But I'm saying President Trump wasn't caring. He the one firing her and blocking the SNAP benefits, the contingency fund from being used. So I'm saying, if you have what AOC, what I'm trying to say, and what Bernie Sanders, their argument is, if you have a president who is like that, you have to stand firm against him. At some point, I guess I got a fighter mentality. It's the same thing with us dealing with Putin. At some point, somewhere, somehow, if you do not stand firm, you're going to have to fight this fight again, number one, or you either going to wish you stand firm, because it'll be a total Republican takeover and Democratic destruction. You see what I'm saying? Guys, so Senator Angus King of Maine is an independent who caucuses with the Democrat Party and is a former governor. He had been voting since the outset to reopen the government, yet he also played a key role in the negotiations, including often hosting senators for talks in the Capitol basement office. He has consistently said that he is opposed to using a government shutdown as a negotiation tactic, yet he has also wanted Congress to extend the health care subsidies. After Republicans rejected a proposal from Schumer to extend the ACA tax credits for 1 year, King said it showed that the shutdown was not working. Was not working? Senator King was not working. President Trump stumping on y'all head. It was not working. That's what you always gotta. The shutdown ain't just about ACA subsidies. I'm saying, come on, guys. That's the unspoken truth. That's the elephant in the room. That's something we ain't got to come out and say directly, but we know that government shutdown wasn't just about no ACA subsidies alone. We know this, guys. Let's be real. It's about the dominance that President Donald J. Trump and the Republican Party has exerted over the Democrats since November of last year, when it became sure and positive that he was going to become, guys, tell me if I'm lying, that he was going to become president. What you think, the no kings? Why y'all think he called him a king? Because if you ask me from just an outside observer, when I look at him, I don't see him trying to be a king. Like, you talking about like King Charles? Like, what kind of king he trying to be? Even he said that. I don't see him trying to be a king. I see him trying to play for the most power he can from being a Republican president. I see him trying to stomp out the Democrats. I see him trying to destroy the Democratic Party. Yeah, I see all of that. But I don't see him trying to be. But for the Democrats, it feel like he's trying to be a king, because he's going against everything they're trying to do. What you got to understand, Democrats, is that some of us as independents, the majority of us are independents. The majority of America isn't a Republican or a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people vote Democrat swing. A lot of people vote Republican swing. So the majority of independents, the majority of us, we like, even some Republicans like Democratic policies. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. Even some Democrats like Republican policies. That's just life, bro. So you got to understand that the majority of us are kind of in the middle. But I'm saying, as a Democrat, President Trump has targeted y'all. And he's not trying to govern with you at all. This ACA fight, the healthcare subsidies, this vote, this is the first action he's given y'all at all, man, since he's been president in over a year, a little less than a year. And I'm saying in that little less than a year, he is legislating. I mean, within that first year, I guarantee you, if we run statistics, he has probably done more work than any other president, or definitely top five. If you count all the executive orders, all the lawsuits filed against him, all of that big, beautiful bill, I'm saying that one bill was enough legislation for the whole year if Congress didn't do that many bills this year, which they didn't. I'm saying he been really active, man, really busy first year, man. Like those tariffs, bro. I mean, bro, like the stock market, man, it's a lot been going on. You got to admit that. So I'm saying in the meantime, in between time, he has been assaulting you as a Democrat. And you have to understand that. So, yeah, I care about the kids eating in the SNAP, but he should too, right? Who the president is. Who controlling both houses. So I care about the kids eating and I care about SNAP, but he should too, right? I care about the kids eating and I care about SNAP, but ain't Speaker Johnson saying he a Christian? We know Speaker Johnson say he a Christian, right? So I'm saying Speaker Johnson, he shouldn't care about the kids and the federal workers getting fired. We all do. What's that got to do with the price of tea in China? I'm saying this man trying to tell Harvard that they can't teach in their university. I'm saying this man cutting funding to our states because we Democrats. I'm saying this man sending troops to our cities because we Democrats, bro. This man got a whole beef against us because we Democrats. He trying to stump out our party. And you talking about the pain? Yeah, he feel it. He the one causing the pain. He causing the pain. So you cave right now, and what happened if you ain't able to get the? That's what Bernie Sanders said. I heard him say. What happened if you ain't able to get that ACA subsidy passed? What if you can't get them passed? What if the healthcare premiums stay sky high? Then you have a risk. You run the risk of American people looking at the Democratic Party not being strong enough to fight that fight. You run that risk. That might not be how that turn out. That might not be how that happens, but you run the risk of the Democratic Party being looked at like you're not strong enough to fight the fight. Because you know the healthcare you had, you was on point. You had all the points, pivot points. You had all the points, possible points, and you was on all the right positions. But then in the very end, you have the question does the shutdown further the goal of achieving some needed support for the extensions of the tax credit? What you talking about? Our judgments was that it would not produce that result. What you talking about? Your judgment was, of course, because you caving. If you caving, it ain't going to produce no kind of result. It's going to produce a result of caving. Senator Jackie Rosen of Nevada. Rosen has grown increasingly irate as the shutdown has worn on the Republicans refuse to give in to the Democrats' demands on the ACA credits. As air travel has increasingly affected by the shutdown, the economy of her home state of Nevada, political swing state, was also under threat. So for Senator Jackie Rosen, see, man, you got to understand, you got to be able to see the full picture. Good morning. Who is that in here? Ahmad, good morning, Ahmad. Good morning. As you guys come in, make sure y'all liked the video, double tap the screen, subscribe to the channel. Guys, you got to look at sometimes in these situations, these senators, like they might just be having their constituents might be blowing the phone off the hook. You know what I'm saying? A senator, she might be in a district where, the airport is like, it's like, you get some places like that. Not even that rural. The airport might be the biggest employer in the area. You see what I'm saying? And those constituents, them people, they are out of work and they fretting and I'm saying this stuff, it's causing some chaos and some drama in some places. It's disturbing lives. And I'm saying Senator Rosen, she said she couldn't take it no more. In the statement, she said that Trump and fellow Republicans are weaponizing their power in alarming ways. What she say? To inflict unimaginable pain and suffering on working people. So you don't say, Senator Rosen. Senator Rosen, baby, I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm not trying to put like levy my intelligence as a weapon against you. But I'm saying this is in your own words. You said that President Trump and fellow Republicans are weaponizing their power in alarming ways to inflict unimaginable pain and suffering on working people. So if they're doing that right now, and if you cave right now, what you think they're going to do tomorrow? Senator Rosen, I just want to ask you, you got the longest government shutdown in history. You don't know, he could have been 10 days away from caving. This could have been his last ditch attempt. His last ditch attempt before he caved. Because I seen a change in his demeanor after those elections. How many of y'all seen that? I don't care what nobody's seen. I seen a change in his demeanor after those elections. So we don't know which way that would have gone. If you could have stood the ground a little bit longer, you just won a big election, for peace sake. Letting you know the American people telling you they with you. The American people telling you they with you, and you fold right now. But she said that they recognizing that, oh, he's willing to release unimaginable pain on the American voter, the American people. Well, he is. Well, I'm saying, so if if that's my thinking, that's my thought process, that this guy is a bad person and he's gonna cause suffering on the people. So they're already suffering, right? You got court cases that's working. You could keep suing them to try to help the people as much as you can while you deal with the tyrant. Because when you fold to the tyrant, if you know anything about Battlefield, you know that's the first mistake. When you fold to the tyrant, I'm not calling them a tyrant, they calling them a tyrant. So I'm saying, she's saying that this is her words, weaponizing his power. So when you fold to that, you think that's going to make them stop doing it? Y'all, somebody tell me, do you guys, somebody in here, y'all think that'll make them stop doing it? If you fold to the weaponization of the power, that's going to no, he going to do it again. Even worse, you embolden him. Now, if he's smart, when the election comes, he'll pay for it with the American people, with the smart Democrats who stay focused on what matters. But what I'm saying is, like, you folding to him right now, it don't help the American people at all. It don't help your argument. It don't help your Democratic Party. And it don't help him to stop weaponizing his power. You to fold to him, is it going to help him stop weaponizing his power? You are folding to him, is it going to help him stop inflicting unimaginable pain and suffering on working people? The only way it's going to make you is for you to stand 10. You make him fold to you. Now, luckily, there was an election, and because the election, that made President Trump pivot on his own. The election made him pivot, not the Democrats, the election. Well, you can't say the Democrats because the Democrats won all those elections. But he's seen that, and that's handwriting on the wall. Tiki, tiki, mini, Ufasa, if you know the scriptures. Bibi Netanyahu, he know, is speaking his language. Yeah, that's that handwriting on the wall. Hebrew, baby. And he's seen that in the election. If you stay on this path, running around like President Biden, talking about the economy doing good, and people know what they feeling. They know what they feeling. You know what I'm saying? Who else folded? We looking for the folders. If you retire, we're going to give you a pass. But if you ain't retired, we don't do no weakness. Ghosts don't believe in weakness. You are fighting not only for health care subsidies for American people, you are fighting for all of those programs that we believe or we think or we have seen President Trump cut. Ain't that what you fighting for? Senator Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada. Cortez Masto is another Democrat who has been voting to reopen the government. She also emphasized that the impact to travel had been particularly harmful to Nevada and that the impacts to food assistance programs provided a new sense of urgency. She said that lines at food banks were the longest she has seen since the coronavirus pandemic. The stories are horrific. Guys, if y'all have not liked the video, I ask that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Guys, I'll say in Nevada's economy probably just a little bit on shaky ground. If you had to ask me. If you had to ask me and ask me my opinion of why both of the Nevada senators folded, both senators in the state of Nevada folded, Nevada's economy is probably a little on shaky ground, guys. You know what I'm saying? I seen somebody sent the flower. I appreciate that, man. If you guys want to donate to the channel, you can hit the button with the $sign in it. Super chat, super thanks, super stickers. They start at 99 cents. Guys, y'all ride with Ghost Rider, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey, one of these episodes, y'all, I was in New York City yesterday. If y'all hadn't seen it, y'all go check out all the content. I done spoiled Hey, listen, guys. I done spoiled the viewers of my channel, man, bringing them gorgeous content from all over America, man. So I'm going to continue to do that. But, like, this is how I'm bringing you guys the news. For the next couple of series, riding with Ghost Rider. Some of these times, we going to kick back, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to hit the reverse, and we going to go cruising while we on live stream. We going to have some fun with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to pull up in Philadelphia one of these live streams. And I'm going to just hop out and I'm going to be on live stream riding through Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? But until that time, this is how we ride. And I seen somebody say King Trump. I hear a lot of people do say King Trump. But I'm saying you allowing him to be a king by buckling under a shutdown, to the shutdown. You allowing that. He looking at you as weak. He's saying you weak. He's saying you gonna buckle to the shutdown and you buckle. What I'm saying wrong. He looking at you as weak. He playing you as weak. I don't have to call out all the things he doing. He's stomping on your cities. He says you're gonna buckle to the shutdown and you buckle. That ain't no hate. That's just facts. You buckle. He knew you was gonna do it. He called it. I'm saying if you can't say the man is a dictator if you're not finna fight him. You can't look at Ghost Rider to fight him and you ain't paying Ghost Rider no money. The ACLU fighting him and you paying them money. You can't look at the regular American people to stand up to them and they're not getting no benefit. All they want to see is their life improve. It's not a Democrat or Republican thing. I'm speaking today, a stream like for the Democrats, because the next stream, kicking it with riding with Ghost Rider, we doing on Tuesday at 6:30 a.m. Eastern, y'all. The next stream like this we doing, we're going to be talking about the Republicans and President Trump and the $2,000 stipend and him hitting the road doing town halls. But this one, we talking about the Democrats, fair and balanced. Started it off with the Democrats. What Democratic senators broke ranks? Why did the Democrats fold? This wasn't all about healthcare subsidies and SNAP and federal workers. This was about President Trump stomping on your party and completely disregarding and disrespecting your party. What's another senator that falls? So Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. Fetterman, who was elected in 2022, has also been voting to reopen the government, breaking with his party as he does on many other issues. He has criticized Democrats for using the shutdown to demand concessions on health care. I'm sorry to our military, SNAP recipients, government workers, and Capitol Police who haven't been paid on weeks, he said on social media. It shouldn't have never came to this. This was a failure. What was a failure, Senator Fetterman? What was a failure? Well, you didn't see the election in Virginia, Senator Fetterman? You didn't see the one in I'm saying the government shutdown isn't the complete reason for the election wins in New Jersey and Mandami winning in New York City and Prop 50 winning in California to help you keep control of the House, Senator Fetterman. You can't look that Prop 50. That to me, that was the if President Trump would have got Prop 50, to me, it would have been lights out for the Democrats. Maybe not all the way lights out, but I'm talking about they would have been dim. They would need the American people to rescue them big time. But I think him losing Prop 50, it also helped him as well because he was getting too lax and comfortable with the prices not switching up. Because without them prices lowering, President Trump, I could promise you, I could 1,000, 10,000, 100,000% promise you your party's going to pay for that one way or other. Guys, if y'all have not liked the video, I ask that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, guys. This is a lot earlier than we usually be streaming. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole hour and something before we usually be streaming. 50-some minutes, man. I came, I saw, I conquered. I delivered the content. You know what I'm saying? Ricola says so many Democrats are switching parties. Yeah. Democrats switch parties. Republicans switch parties. People sign up to the Republican Party. People sign up to the Democratic Party. That's just how it works. Olin says everything's man-made, therefore you hold no responsibility. I'm not sure I get that one. Odin says your baby Hugh feelings have absolutely destroyed humanity. Democrats need Prop 50. They needed Prop 50. You disagree with that, sir? I think the Democrats really needed Prop 50. If they didn't get Prop 50, what, President Trump, 18, 19 seats, 15 seats? So I'm saying you would have had to do like a 16, 17 seats. You would have had to get 17 seats on him or 18 seats on him to be able to flip the House. It's not no guarantee the Democrats going to be able to get 18 seats. With an even score, they might get 9 seats. They might get 12 seats with an even score. You saying like I wouldn't have wanted to give no pen to no hand of the Republican governors without no recourse against that. Because if you can't redistrict against that, well, look, my pops told me about redistricting that happened in Georgia. And he says no way that because how they redistricted, it was no way that President Trump was going to lose Georgia this election. You guys don't understand that redistricting is huge in presidential elections because they're picking delegates in America by districts, not by states. So that's humongous. So yeah, if the Republicans can redistrict, if they could have redistricted without the Democrats having no recourse, that could have been lights, cameras, action. I'm saying, not saying the Democrats wouldn't have never won another election, but they could have been one in the next 5 years. Just like or one in the next 5 elections. The Republicans won one election in 20 years. One popular vote in 20 years. Shoe could have got flipped on the Democrats. That's all I'm saying. So that Prop 50 was humongous. It was ginormous. You know what I'm saying? If there's a 20-point swing, the Republicans will lose all their gerrymandering seats. Chris Mo, that's all I'm saying. That's pretty much all I'm trying to say, my boy. Because that's what I'm saying. It was of utmost importance at Prop 50 for the Democrats to keep Prop 50. They had to. They had to, bro. It was of utmost importance. 10,000%. Skeeter says, oh, he's sitting there cracking jokes. So, guys, if y'all have not liked the video, I ask that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell, bro. Cruising with Big Ghost Rider, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a new series, man. Look, I love this cruising with Ghost Rider. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, if I'm out there when I'm doing, when I, like, say if I pull up at a city right now, I pull up at a spot. All the people in the chat, they want to know where I'm at and everything like that. But see, with cruising with Ghost Rider, you in the car with your boy, all it's about is the content. If it's about the content, it don't matter where you delivering the content from. Am I right or wrong? If somebody tell you the truth, look, if somebody tell you that your wife cheated on you. Hey, listen, real talk though. Tell me if your boy don't be spitting that truth, bruh. So if somebody tell you that your wife cheated on you last night, okay? They said last night when your wife went to the casino with her homegirls, they caught her in the back of the they caught her in the back of the men's bathroom with her dress on the ground. Okay? If somebody tell you that, do you matter where they tell you that at? If they tell you when y'all in the car, in the house, they gotta be behind a big pretty waterfall. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is somebody give you the truth when they give you the story. It don't matter where you getting it from, bruh. That content gonna be the same fire. It's gonna be the same drip. It don't matter where I'm giving it to you from. I'm trying to help y'all to get your mind off of superficial things, man. That superficial stuff, them gold toilets in the $155 million ballrooms or however much money it costs is the reason why you can't feed the American people. You got to get your mind off of superficial stuff. And you got to get your mind on stuff that matters, stuff with substantive stuff. And I always focus on the substance in the situation. All the window dressing stuff, I don't really focus on that too much. I focus, on the substance. If y'all haven't liked the video, guys, I ask that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. I appreciate y'all coming in and kicking it with me, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscription, you know what I'm saying? Because we getting a lot of new people, guys. I'm going to be streaming early. You know what I'm saying? So today is the first day I streamed since last week. You know, I think I jumped on here a couple of days ago, but I was just clowning. It wasn't no stream I was trying to keep. I didn't have no news or no kind of relevant information, so I was just playing. But today I came on and I did it on a Thursday. You know what I'm saying? It started about 6 a.m. Eastern, man. That's real early. That's 5 a.m. That's real early, bro. Got a whole new group of people. And the people who usually normally watch me, they come in here about 7 or 8:30 Eastern. You know what I'm saying? We about to get off at 7 or 8:30 Eastern, but we still got the content up for them to view it. So like I said, man, whenever I come doing that, whatever Ghost Rider do, you know what I'm saying? Riding with Ghost Rider, bro. It look goofy right now. It's our first one. I'm going to get in this BMW every single time, and I'm going to deliver A1 content. I'm going to tell y'all the news. I'm going to give y'all analysis. I'm going to give y'all perspective and common sense like you ain't going to get it from nowhere else. I don't care where I'm at giving you the content. And while it's looking goofy right now, one of these days I'm going to kick back, and we're going to ride out, and I'm going to pull up in Philly. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to pull up in D.C. You don't know where I'm at right now. I was go to you go to YouTube, you go to Instagram, the links in the bio for Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And you can see I'm in New York City. So I'm saying I could pop up right now, just, you know what I'm saying, start recording like, hey, y'all, downtown New York, man. We in Lower Manhattan right now. What's cracking? You know what I'm saying? So, guys, if y'all have not liked the video, I ask y'all double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notifications bell. This is our first episode of Riding with Ghost Rider. It's probably not going to be a long one. Y'all stay down in the comments, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all show your boy Ghost Rider some love, baby. Hey, look, if y'all want to donate to the channel, hit the button with the $sign in it. Ahmad says, unbelievable Trump just hates poor people and the way his actions are showing. Look, Ahmad, look, I'm going to say this. I wouldn't say that President Trump hated poor people, Ahmad. Like, just to be all the way honest with you, I was finna step out for a second. You know what I'm saying? I do that from time to time. To be honest, all the way honest with you, I couldn't say that he hated poor people. I would say that he hated Democrats, or he hated the Democratic policies. And I think that's what it is. So him not giving the SNAP is because the Democrats wanted him to pay SNAP. Does that make sense? Him not doing the Obamacare subsidies is because it's Obamacare, and it has something to do with Democrats. And Nancy Pelosi helped champion it. Anything to do with Nancy Pelosi, hater, can't stand her. I don't think he really hates Governor Newsom. He just really be picking on Governor Newsom. I don't think Governor Newsom's too fond of him. You see what I'm saying? But him and Nancy Pelosi, that's a thickness of dislike or disdain. And I think he has like a little jealous thing with President Obama. I don't think he all the way hate President Obama. I think he kind of a little slick fond of him on the low, but I think he got a jealous thing of him. And then that DEI thing, like, you know what I'm saying? And his Republican Party, so he got to keep face and hold face for his Republican Party. As far as Bill Clinton, I think he liked Bill Clinton all the way, like him, his dog, his round mate. You know what I'm saying? They were running with Jeffrey. Not no hate on President Trump, just being real. They were running with old Epstein, him and Bill Clinton. You know what I'm saying? So I think Ahmad, I wouldn't say that he hates poor people. I would say that he a rich man. If you go around Elon, man, like if you have a bunch of people around Elon who aren't living as well, Elon might throw him a bone. He might throw him a tic-tac. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't understand. You had to have suffered before in your life. You had to have been poor before, been hungry before. That's why Jesus came to this earth and he became one of us. You see what I'm saying? He became a man. He in heaven as a spirit. As a spirit. How does a spirit understand what a man is going through? A spirit. I'm saying Lucifer could understand a man to a certain extent. He can't understand him like God. First of all, he didn't create a man. And second of all, he's never been a man before. So he could, that's just like me never having children, trying to understand what my homegirl going through with this baby. I got a good idea, but I've never experienced it before. Jesus experienced, he became a man. He became one of us. I'm saying the people who could relate to, they experienced it. I'm saying the suffering, if President Trump isn't experienced it, or he has never experienced the suffering or the pain, someone has to, who is going through that, has to relate that to him so he's able to comprehend that or see that, because he's not going to see it if someone don't explain it to him. So I don't think he necessarily hates poor people. I don't think that's what I would put that as. I don't think he despises poor people. I've heard of President Trump doing a whole lot for poor people who work for Trump, the Trump corporation or businesses over the years. I've heard of them giving people $50,000, $80,000, heard of them buying family homes, buying people cars, doing all kind of stuff for poor people who work for him. I don't think he hates poor people. I just don't think he understands the plight of poor people. The thing about SNAP, I think that SNAP have to do with Democrats. Anything the Democrats want to let the people get, he gonna be against it. It's just that the Democrats are for all the poor people's programs. That's how I know they're going to win the Congress in 2026, because they got back on message. What freaks me out, like I said at the beginning of the stream, not Caitlin Collins, because that's her job to do investigative reporting, or not Jasmine Crockett, because she's on the oversight committee. She's like the bull. She's like the pit bull or the bulldog of Democratic Party to be at President Trump. That's her role. What I'm saying is like AOC and them, I can't never see them. Like, you could touch on that Epstein stuff, but to me, like the main breadwinners, the new breadwinners, headers in the Democratic Party, Maybe Mandami have to be the spokesperson for this for the Democratic Party. But I'm saying you got to stay on affordability and cost of living until he get them prices down where they supposed to be, which is not going to happen before the midterm, not without some kind of drastic legislation. It's not going to happen until he get them prices down where they're supposed to be, or unless what his calculus was is that everybody in America start getting wealthy. The rich get so wealthy, they start throwing money down to the poor or to the less fortunate, or everybody. There's a golden age. If he was expecting wages to increase or factory jobs to come back. But I'm saying if that stuff don't happen, you still got these people in America who are hurting, who are suffering, and you need to do and help these people. So the $2,000 stipend, he's talking about it now. Ghost gonna back up a little bit. I can't get on him that hard because he talking about doing the stuff he need to do. He talking about giving every American $2,000. Now he talking right now. He talking right. Like I'm saying, the people who hate him, that's you. That's your hatred. All this about the Jeffrey Epstein, Kaylin Collins, Aaron Brunette, y'all need me to call their names. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you the ones that I watch. Abby Phillip, I'm telling you the ones that I watch. Anderson Cooper, but you need me to call their name. I'm saying like that's their job. That's his job. I'm saying I don't work for CNN. I'm not an investigative reporter. I wasn't hired to investigate and report. That's not what I was hired to do. So what I decided to make legal war, I advise. I'm a legal person. I do legal documents. I'm a lawyer. I'm an advisor. So that's what I do with politics. So he's the sitting president, and I heard Kaylin Collins say clearly that he hasn't been accused of no wrongdoing. Can you hear? Listen, get it out your ears. He has not been accused of no wrongdoing. President Clinton was accused of wrongdoing, and it still didn't matter. Number one. Number two, President Trump not going to be on no more ballots ever again. He won't be on no more ballots. That's number two. Number three, he hasn't been accused of doing wrongdoing. I mean, that's why it seems like a hoax. Not saying that there wasn't girls with Jeffrey Epstein that was hurt or molested, but I'm just saying, if you really look at it, it does kind of look like a hoax with him. That's all I'm saying. Now, if he was my homeboy, I'd clown him for even running with Jeffrey like that. I would clown him as my homeboy, as my friend, or even as the president. But I'm saying that's not really what that is right now. What that is right now is you really ain't got nothing on him. He ain't been accused of no wrongdoing. Let the investigation work itself out. When it work itself out, I don't think there's no there. And if there's no there, you spend all this time talking about Jeffrey. Thank goodness the Democrats was on point at the right time with the government shutdown with those elections. Because if you get embarrassed right there, but you're looking pretty decent, you're looking pretty good, like you could stand in there and fight. He ain't stumped you out. All that stuff he did them first year, first 11 months, it didn't stump y'all out. Y'all came back and won some elections. But you got to get your head out the wrong places, man, and put them in the right places. Fight the people's fight, like AOC did. We the People #10 coming out tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern, New York City. Shout out to AOC and Bernie Sanders. As soon as the videos start off, fight the people's fight. That's what she does all the time. She might touch on that Epstein stuff. She might touch on this, but she gonna get back to talking about the things that the people care about. Maybe because she represents the Bronx, and it's a lot of poor people in the Bronx. But that's good. Go get you a politician that represents the poor. How they gonna know you know what the people going through unless you get someone who walking with the people? Y'all feeling that? If y'all haven't liked the video, go ahead, double tap the screen, man. I'll give it a few more minutes, man, and then we don't have no donations, man. We'll go ahead and close it on down, man. Been streaming for about an hour and 13 minutes, man. I imagine it's about 7 a.m. Eastern, or it might be close to 8 a.m. Eastern. That's the time I usually normally stream anyway. So I'll give it a few more minutes, guys, and we'll go ahead and close it on now. Ride with Big Ghost Rider, baby. Man, I'm telling y'all, man. How many of y'all been to New York City, man? I had the time of my life, man. Let me get on this computer real quick. Get down here with y'all for a second before I get on up out of here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see what we got here, y'all. What we got? Ma said, are we getting the 2000? Yeah, Ma, we getting the 2000, man. You know what I'm saying? James said blacks eating the cats and dogs. He did say that the Haitians were eating the cats and dogs. And I don't appreciate that, James. Where that comment at, James? I'm gonna pin that. James, he did say that. He did say the Haitians were eating it, and I don't appreciate him saying that. I'm saying, but what you want me to come on here and say that we're gonna talk about Jeffrey Epstein and win elections? I'm saying you want me to say something in favor of the Democrats. So you had all that momentum. Bro, look at the last week or 2 weeks of live streams. I was commenting on all the momentum the Democrats had. They were doing good, bro. It ain't over for them. They won the election. The people still with them. President Trump is underwater on affordability. And you want to talk about Jeffrey Epstein. I know you see the numbers. MSNBC and CNN reporting the numbers. See underwater on affordability. Excuse me, underwater, and he know he is. He saw the results of the election. He know he underwater. And I'm saying we want to talk about what? What are we talking about? Jeffrey Epstein. He did say that about, but he's got a problem with DEI. That whole side. That's why I talk about Nick Fuentes. The Republican Party. They need to get that. What you call that? I don't know what you call that. You call that racism? James, you call that racism? Is it racism? They need to get that racism. They need to root that. There's the segment of the far right that is extremely racist. And President Trump and them feed into that. That's why he talk about DEI. He do that all the time. He say stuff about DEI and I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I said that whenever I first started doing a live stream, I said, you can't tell me that I'm not no black man. Just like President Trump recognized that you a man. That's identity politics. Well, I recognize I'm black. That's identity politics. I said that from the get-go. I was one of the first ones. You ain't gonna tell me not to say I'm a black man. That's what I am. I'm black and I'm proud of my blackness. That's what God created me as. So yeah, he do got a problem, I could say, to a certain extent with saying things, flip things like the Haitians are eating the cats and the dogs. That was very offensive. I know a bunch of Haitians. I went to the hospital the other day and a Haitian was my nurse. And I sat there and talked to that man. That was one of the most pleasant people I ever met in my life. And I know a lot of black people from the islands like that. From Jamaica too. They great people, really good people. So if you ask him, he gonna say, he probably say something I just said, something like I just said. So he might just look at it like he misspoke. I don't know. Somebody said bigotry is another term. I mean, what can I say? What you want me to say? I'm not gonna deny the truth. You want me to deny some truth. You want me to act like President Trump just the coolest dude, like he Governor Newsom with black people. That's how you want me to act. You want me to act like President Trump is like Governor Shapiro with black people. I'm not here to act like that. This is a truth network. It's a truth channel. Anywhere time you get ghostwriter, all you gonna get is truth. I'm not trying to say President Trump is the coolest with black people, but what I'm saying, what does that have to do? What does President Trump and black people got to do with the economy? Eating cats and dogs. What's that got to do with Democrats breaking race? I'm saying, unless I know he a known racist, I don't think he a racist. Bigotry, that's another conversation. But he's still the president. And America still got business to tend to. So I'm saying, what we do? We still need our $2,000, don't you? Don't we need that $2,000 still? No, the Ninja. Don't we need that $2,000? Donnie V. Don't we need that $2,000 still? We still need that $2,000. That's all I'm saying, y'all. I'm saying we still need that $2,000. Look, Tig XR. I'll never not look. I never not noticed President Trump had faults. I'm saying you trying to act like I noticed he didn't have faults. Like I don't hear the stuff he say about DEI. Like I didn't hear the stuff Charlie Kirk say. Candace Owens still cool with Charlie Kirk. And y'all might have your own opinion about Candace Owens, but I know she knows she a black woman. And she was real cool with Charlie. That was like one of her best friends. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can hear someone saying something that is deplorable, but the people who know him for real, Candace Owens know Charlie Kirk better than anyone that's listening to me right now. At his later years, she probably knew him better than his parents, as good as his wife. And she a black woman, and she loved her. So I'm saying the people who really know a person or who really don't know a person, I'll never like co-sign President Trump with the stuff that President Trump has said about black people. Not me. I ain't never co-signed him on that. Never. But I'm saying what I come on here and talk about I usually talk about policies. I talk about affordability. I talk about winning elections. I talk about things that help you win elections. That's being an advisor. I'm advising. I talk about things that help you turn the economy around. Or I talk about things that help you win a war. Solve world peace. That's when the people who listen to me, that's what we talk about. That's why sometimes I guess I give catchy news story and analysis, but a lot of times it might be boring because it's more of policy. I talk policy. I talk a lot of policy, bro. I rarely talk about stuff that's not policy related if it's politics. Y'all notice that? Who noticed that? Who noticed that? I talk policy. Dink said all folk ain't kinfolk. That's true, though. That's true, Dink. You know what I'm saying? That's true. All folk ain't kinfolk. Sarah says, I don't like Trump personally. He's too crass, ECT. But even a choice again tomorrow between him and Kamala, I'll vote for him again. You see what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of people. That's how a lot of people are. Me personally, I like Kamala's policies better than his. But he won the president, and the majority of Americans are like Sarah. They liked his policies better. That's what the majority of American voters vote on policies. They don't vote on Epstein. Epstein's not a policy. Jeffrey Epstein's not a policy. Russia, collusion with Russia is not a policy. President Trump or President Clinton cheating with Monica Lewinsky, it was not a policy. The majority of American people vote on policies. And that's what I talk about, policies. That's why I'm so in tune with the voters. Aristotle says, what policies do I agree and disagree with President Trump on? Okay, so the tariff policy, I agree with his tariff policy probably 60%. I like the tariffs. It's just some of the ways he's running the tariffs. The way we getting $2,000 a piece is off tariffs. So I agree with that 60%. A lot of his business policies I agree with. I'm talking about outside of his economic policy, because that is what I do not agree with. Trickle down economics. I believe the way forward is to tax the rich responsibly. Drink responsibly. I believe the way forward is to responsibly tax the rich. I was dead serious. Hey, if I was president, I'd be taxing the rich and the tariffs. Instead of doing the tax cuts, I would have did a tax cuts on middle class and low class Americans. Like people making under $30,000 a year, I would have took all their taxes away. They wouldn't have paid no taxes. They would have got all that little money. All that little 30,000. You take $3,000, $4,000 from them, I'm gonna just take that from Elon. You could take 3,000 from one of them. You could take that for 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 of him. He want Elon. Hey, look at Brian C. Brian C with that $1 donation. Y'all please like Brian C donation. I appreciate it, my brother. Good morning. Good morning. So taxing the rich, that would be a policy I disagree with President Trump on. All of President Trump's policies on abortion and on transgender rights, I agree with them on all those policies. So all social policies, I agree. Unless you gay, you agree with them too, because you're not gay. So how could you agree with them? Oh, you should let gay people just be gay. Yeah, gay people gonna be gay whether you let them be gay or not. Whether you got a law against them being gay or not, you think because there's a law that gonna stop people from sneaking and sleeping with another man because you make a law, they still gonna do it. So you let gay people be gay, but I'm not gonna pass law for two men to get married though. Because I'm not married to a man, so I don't believe in that. If I believed in that, I would marry a man. If I was so nonchalant about it, I would marry a man and a woman and a man and a woman. But I'd never marry a man, so I could never agree with a policy that allows two men to be married. I'm just common sense with everything I say and do. So I'm saying, like, there's some policies I agree with him about and some policies I don't. But it's all about policy with me. That's all I talk. That's why Brian C. on here, Ahmad's on here, Donnie's on here. The ones who's on here that comes back, because we talk policy and they care about policy. You said if the stimulus of the stipend goes through, will it cause inflation? It might, but I think President Trump he's on top of that. He's got to be. And it won't cause as much inflation because where the money's coming from too. The money's coming from the tariff money. So it's not like he has to actually go somewhere and get the money. He's already got the money. If he can't do 2,000, he might could do less than that. He might could do 1,000. If he can't do every American, he might have to do just the taxpayers. But I'm saying that stipend to the Americans, that's in the works. It has to happen. I think for him, Like with the cost of living and affordability being in the position that it's in, he has to do that. He has to. Not only that, him going out and talking to the American people right before, so right before the stock market went high as it did when he first came in, he talked about short-term pain with the tariffs, and we saw the stock market hit the ground and then it hit the ceiling. It's kind of the same situation, but what I think the problem is, I don't think he has a plan to fight inflation or a plan to get the cost of living down. And the reason why I say he doesn't have a plan, because he's trying to run around acting like there isn't a problem. If he had a plan, when he gets a plan, he's going to acknowledge there's a problem. That's the first thing you do before you come up with a solution. Y'all can't do nothing with ghosts, man. That's the first thing you do before you come up with a solution. You acknowledge a problem. So him saying that $2,000 stipend, that's because he's realizing it's a problem. He's trying to come up with solutions on the fly. That's Mike Johnson. That's kind of like, that's your job too. That's what Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to fight the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. I'm saying y'all fighting something that it ain't, what they gonna find out? What President Trump did. I'm saying the worst thing you could find out is that he had a 17-year-old sit on his lap. he had a 17-year-old. Imagine you spend the next 2.5 years digging and scratching and clawing, and you just knowing there's something in there about President Trump. You know it's something in there. And when you finish doing all your life work and energy, at the end of it, he had a 17-year-old sit on his lap. That's all you get. It ain't gonna change nothing. You thinking him a scumbag, the people who think he a scumbag, they already think that. Like Sarah said that I pinned her comment. She said that she ain't voting for him because of that. She voted for him because of his policies, like most Americans did who voted for him. So you talking about Jeffrey Epstein, that's not going to help Cheryl win an election. Or that's not going to help Mandami win an election. That's not going to help you win Prop 50 talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Anybody who went and voted for Prop 50, how many of y'all was talking about Jeffrey Epstein? Oh, yeah, he was in the Epstein files, too. Let me vote for Prop 50. Because he was in the Epstein files. I'm going to vote for Prop 50. Ain't nobody ain't nobody care about that. They care, but they don't care. It's weird. You got to think of the voter mind. The voting mind doesn't care. The regular person, it's the same person. It's ghostwriter. The same ghost. As a regular person, yes, I do care about whether or not he did that with children. But as a voting person, I don't care. As a voting person, you start thinking about them eggs and that beef and that gas and whether or not I'm going to be able to go to college and can I afford a house while I got my credit good. I'm having to burn up my credit cards. I need more money. See, that's what you're thinking about when you go vote. Y'all rich people, y'all might be a little out of touch, or y'all wealthy people, y'all might be out of touch, but the regular average American making $200,000 or less a year, when they going to vote, that's what they thinking about. They're not thinking about no Jeffrey Epstein. And the Democrats, they are, I come up, this is y'all stream. On Tuesday, we doing the Republican stream, okay? This is y'all stream. You just did great. You won the elections. That's what matters. You gonna get some downs and bads. So you lost momentum and he got the government open and your Democrats folded. Okay, you hit a low. That don't mean nothing. That's gonna come and go. You won the elections because you talked about what mattered. And I'm proud of the Democrats about that. Two-party system. That's how you don't have a king. You keep the Democratic Party strong. If the Democratic Party is strong, you know we don't have a king in America. If the Democrats have been crushed, we're closer to having a king in America. Bro, y'all stay with Ghost. Ghost gonna keep doing this all day. If the Democratic Party is crushed, that's how you get a king. If the Democratic Party is strong, you are further away from having a king in America. Does that not make sense? So yeah, the Democratic Party won the election. I'm proud of them for that. Great job. But I'm saying you're going to lose the momentum. But I'm saying when you lose the momentum, I guess if you're talking about President Trump to get in, about Jeffrey Epstein to get in his head, because you want to get in his head because you want to, you lost the moment. You lost the momentum, so you're going to throw something to get in. To get in his head. But don't use that as a strategy. That you might could use talking about Jeffrey Epstein as a tactical. That's tactical. That's not a strategy. If you use that as a strategy, you're going to get dog sled. If you talk about him being 34 felony or being a felon, you're going to get dog sled. Because even though he a felon, what I'm saying is the American people don't care nothing about that. They voted him with all 34 of them felonies. Not 31 felonies, not 27 felonies. They voted for him with all 34 of them felonies. They don't care about that. You got to stay focused on what the American people care about. And the American people care about affordability. They care about the cost of living. They care about inflation. They care about buying homes. That's what they care about. They don't care about the other stuff. I'm trying to tell you. They care, but they don't care. I just broke it down for you. Okay? Somebody says Democrats, Trump, Malcolm. Democrats don't exist in reality. That's how he doing y'all, bro. He's stumping on you. He's trying to stump you out. He's trying to stump you out. That man that's when you got to stand your strongest. He's trying to get rid of your party. He belittling and befuddling your party on every opportunity he get. It's about more than the Americans' healthcare subsidy. He don't care about the SNAP either. The Republicans, they not budging on SNAP. They weren't budging on nothing. Why I'm a budge? This man trying to stomp us out. I'm going to stand 10. But we went over to the Democratic senators who weren't strong enough. Somebody said Trump is America. Sarah says good and bad people and decisions being made on both sides. No one side is good. Sarah, I agree with you. Look, where's Sarah at? Where's she at? I'm going to make you a moderator, Sarah. If y'all had liked the video, y'all go ahead, double tap the screen for me, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. What Sarah said is basically what Legal Wars Live is about. Guys, I'm a veteran of the United States Army, okay? So y'all know Veterans Day. Shout out to all the veterans. I'm a veteran of the U.S. Army. I'm a patriot. I love my country, okay? There's a lot of things the Democrats are for. I believe in helping the start stimulating the economy from the bottom up. That's a Democratic principle. It's a lot of things the Democrats for that I'm for. That's why I like AOC and Bernie Sanders. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that the Republicans for that I'm for as well. So I agree with Sarah. I don't look at one side as being good. I don't look at one side as being bad. I look at it as two wings of the same bird. Two different sides of the same coin. That's what America was set up on. It was founded on a debate and an argument between two parties. So I'm not like on the red side looking at the blue side like they the devil. I'm not on the blue side looking at the red side like they the devil. I'm looking at both sides like wondering why they can't come to an agreement. That's how I'm looking. Donnie said Republicans funded SNAP. The Democrats voted to shut it down. Donnie, it was about more than just SNAP and shut. It was about more than that, my boy. It was about much, much, much more than that. Much, much more than that. But I feel where you're coming from. But it was about much more than Snap. Nah, that wasn't Bernie that didn't stand against his own party, blasphemer. That wasn't Bernie that didn't stand against his own party. Bernie, he got at the other members of his party for not standing. Bernie did stand. That wasn't Bernie who didn't stand. Bernie did stand. Bernie and AOC, Chuck Schumer is probably going to get, because AOC probably going to run for the Senate. Chuck Schumer should just retire anyway. Because AOC going to beat him. If she chooses to do it, that's her seat. Whatever seat she chooses to run for is going to be her seat in New York. I could guarantee you that. Especially if Ghostwriter up here. I'm talking about I word like a dog. I argue like a dog. I give them their arguments. That's what they get from me is arguments. You know what I'm saying? I could give them the argument. That's what I'm good at. That's what I excel at, argument. So I just give you the argument and you just use the argument yourself and that's how you win. I give her all the arguments. If somebody come against her, I talk them down. I give them all the words to say. And she would not lose. Not in New York. She wouldn't even need me anyway. So AOC and Bernie Sanders, those Democrats who folded, you about know. If you know, you know. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not a Democrat. It's not my place to come on here and speak against other Democrats like that. It's not my business really, but if you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't. Somebody said, what is jail like? Man, it's like, I don't know. Anything could be a jail. This car could be a jail for me. Some people's mind is, their mind is a jail. Anything could be a jail. It's just a room that you have to stay in and you can't leave when you want to. That's all it is. I'm saying you could, like, I'm saying, I don't know. It's the weakness of, I'm not a weak person, bro. When somebody got God with them, it's going to be almost impossible for you to defeat them. It's going to be impossible. It's about the right and the wrong in the situation that I have to chastise the wrong. I will always chastise the wrong. I feel like that's a calling I got for God. If your municipality, your city, whatever, if y'all in the wrong, you're going to get disciplined from Ghostwriter. I'm going to chastise your city. Your whole city, you finna get chastised. You got a spanking coming. Oh, yeah, you got a spanking coming. Bernie is an independent. He said the worst career, Ahmad said the worst prison is never. It probably is, man. I don't know. Iran could be pretty bad. Imagine if you was a Christian, though, in Iran or North Korea. A Christian. And you couldn't worship God or you would get beheaded. Real talk. You can't worship God in Iran or North Korea, then you get your head chopped off. All the way off. They'll have you hung up somewhere for real, man. So I'm saying, like, yeah, to be in America, to be free, to be loved, to be all of that, all those things are blessings, for sure. So, Sarmillo, you can't hurt the strong, though. Not somebody stronger than you. You can't hurt somebody stronger than you. Because I'm somebody stronger than you. You can't hurt me. I get hurt. I have pain, but it ain't from the hands of some man who's weaker than me. I just saying, I'm looking at you knowing whoever doing this, knowing you weaker than me. I can't let you win. I'm sorry. Aristotle says, I get that you don't think one side bad, one good, but if you had to choose one, I really like to choose. Which party would you join? Man, that's hard, bro. Man, that's hard. Sometimes I feel like I could align with President Trump and I'm a Republican, and sometimes I feel like I am not a Republican at all. And I think that I've never paid attention to this since he's been president, I've paid attention to this. I never, well, I could say with President Obama, sometimes I was proud. The days he make the country proud, it's like I could almost feel like I'm a Democrat. But then the days where he painted the White House in rainbow colors, then I didn't want nothing to do with that. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes what President Trump doing, I feel like I could look at myself as a Republican. Real talk. I bet some of y'all could feel that energy coming off the screen too whenever I'm doing the content. And then sometimes, man, it's like, man, where AOC and them at, man? I'm finna go get down with them for good because I don't want nothing to do with those policies, bro. So that's what it's like being an independent. Like you can't never get on the solid ground. It's like it's back and forth. It's always like that. Look at Joe Rogan. He probably don't speak all the way good about President Trump like I do because I'm about policy. So if his policy's good, I'm going to reward him with speaking good about him. If his policy's bad, I'm going to reward him with speaking bad about him. So I'm driven by policy. But I'm saying he's just like a regular talk about everything. They talk about if a story came up about President Trump having a sexual relationship with one of them females, they'll be talking about that. I really wouldn't talk about it that much. How am I going to advise you and you haven't? I'm trying to advise somebody on something to do with the business of America. Y'all feel that? Something to do with American business. I mean, it's just you had sex with a it just doesn't do nothing for me. You feel that? I mean, who he has sex with or don't have sex with, I'm saying that conversation, it just doesn't too much. You know what I'm saying? My boy said, stay strong, brother. Okay, if you say so, man. I mean, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do, what else I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody keep trying to talk. He trying to talk to me like I'm supposed to be in fear or scared of you gonna threaten me, but locking me up in jail for no reason, and I'm finna be a millionaire. That's all that's finna happen. So you say stay strong for what? For how long of a time? Until I get a million? You can't keep me in jail for not doing nothing. That's what you don't realize. You slow. Someone you try to take me to a hospital, and the hospital not gonna keep me there because he not a danger. They smarter than y'all are. That's why they don't never get sued. Hospital don't never get sued because they smarter than y'all are. You know they smarter than y'all. They full of doctors. The police department full of people who don't even have college educations. And the hospital, or maybe the captains do, but them officers don't. They run around crash dummies. They don't even have college educations. But the hospital is full of the stupidest people, and the hospital got 2-year degrees. So we know they smarter than you. So you take them to the hospital, they just gonna let them go. We can't hold them. But you try to take them to jail, but you still can't hold them. You still got rules. How long you gonna hold them for? Because as soon as you put the handcuffs on them, you got sued. So when you doing it, you know you getting sued. Or Milo telling me to stay strong. When you put the handcuffs on them, you getting sued immediately. You know you sued. So it's about how much money you gonna let me get. That's all it's about. When the handcuffs come out, you sue. They put our handcuffs out, they got sued immediately. That's why he's saying stay strong, because they plotting the next opportunity to try to do something. And they gonna get sued again. And all these cases could be litigated in jail. I could litigate them from jail. The court ain't gonna throw the case because I went to jail. They might, but it's gonna come back in the appeals court. So all those cases will be allowed. Every last one of them. Ain't none of them gonna die. And every time you do something, you're gonna get sued. Who gonna lose that in the end? You telling me to stay strong, bro? If I gotta do 3 months, what I'm gonna do 3 months for? I don't. You gotta get a charge on me first that'll stick. Having a arguing with someone in a parking lot is not something that really they shouldn't take you to jail for. Somebody who disabled, you taking a disabled person to jail for arguing in the parking lot. That's what I'm saying. You talking like I did something illegal. What did I do illegal? I lied on the form. What form did I lie on and got any profit from? If you say I lied on the form, I didn't get 1 penny from it. So how is that a crime? You lie every day. The FBI director lied before Congress. Everybody lied. I'm saying if you ain't getting no profit from it, how are you going to get me in any trouble? You could keep trying. You just going to get sued to sleep for every attempt. I don't have to stay strong. I'm going to stay winning. That's what you should have said. Stay winning, my brother. Stay strong for what? They said that before, bro. And they locked me up for a day and a half. I don't care if you do it for a month and a half. When I get out, you got the same problem. You're going to be getting sued. You're going to be finding something else. You're going to end up going before a judge and he going to end up rat-a-tat-tat. You going to get rat-a-tat-tatted for real. Because he do that. The judges, they get at the Justice Department all the time. Y'all just don't know it. Y'all don't understand the law. Or you understand the criminal law, the corrupt criminal law. The corrupt side of the criminal law, bro. It's a bunch of corrupt cops out there, and I know they don't like me. And every last one of y'all getting mammy ducked. The Hernandez, I got paperwork coming for you right now. I want your job. You gotta go. You gotta go. You getting fired, Hernandez. It's just a matter of time. You gotta go. Any cop who bold enough to come put handcuffs on me, you getting fired. Guaranteed. I don't care what your supervisor tell you, he gonna get fired with you. Any cop bold enough to put handcuffs on me, you gonna get fired. Oh, you said when they came debate, they debates? I guess. I don't know. That's on them. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever they could try and do, whatever I like, I could care less, bro. It doesn't bother me. You see what I'm saying? You trying to target me for whatever reason you want to target me, come target me. You targeting yourself. That police department, since you did that, they finna be under so much fire. Just give it a second. Give it 90 days. Give it 90 days. And then you're going to have to scrap for 2-3 years. And you talking about a day and a half. If you talking about a month or a year or 2 years, bro, but that'll be a dying quest of mine. I'm gonna get rich off of you. I'm gonna be in jail suing you. You know, people write lawsuits for jail, bro. Real talk. I'm gonna be in jail suing you, bro. I'm gonna get rich off of you. You can't play with me like that. Some people you can play with me. Some people, I know 4 or 5 people around me, they all got arrested. They just got arrested. Me, I got arrested. I sued them for $127,000. First attempt. Try it again. I'm going to double it next time. Or triple it or quadruple it. That $127,000 was mercy. Real talk, that's mercy. That's a lot of mercy. Because I could run that up on you if I wanted to. That's mercy. That's mercy. So also I'm saying, bro, you talking about arresting me, stay strong, bro. I'm laughing at you the whole time. That day and a half we in jail, go out to Connecticut and ask her. We in there clowning. Bro, when they let me out, I felt like I was T.I. I'm a king. Bank rolls in the pockets. I'm a king. Bro, ask the jailers. I'm talking about, bro. I was, bro. Within 5 hours, what the marshals, the Connecticut marshals, the court I was cool with all the marshals. It was a Samoan. He was cool, but for real, it was a little white dude in there. He was crying. He was in jail, 19. I told him I was gonna hold him down. I was ready to bat somebody down for him. So I had a little underling. It was some little Mexican dude in there. We were cracking jokes the whole time. I'm telling you, bro. And when I get out of there, you already know what's gonna happen to you. I'ma sue you till you can't walk. I'ma sue you to something bleeding, to one of your morphosis is bleeding. Real talk. I sent paperwork off yesterday. I'm sending paperwork off today. I'm sending paperwork off tomorrow. I'm talking about like a week. You just pulled out handcuffs. I'm talking about you finna have to do some, bro. I'm talking about I want body cameras. I want them body cameras right now. I want every body camera right now, every officer, every hour of footage, and you got to go work and get it. Because if not, I'll go ahead and open up that case in that federal court and I'll start rat-a-tat-tatting on you. You can't play with me with certain stuff. That's like putting your hands on me, that kind of stuff. I don't play with that. You did that one time, that's how Miller Ray Legal started. Next time, I'm going to beat you up and still sue you. If I beat you up, I'm going to still sue you. I just did. I beat a dude up and still got paid off of it. I beat him up and got paid. How many? That's real talk. How many people you know that happened to? I beat them up and got paid. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you talking about stay strong, bro. I hear you talking. You see somebody putting all them dollar signs in. Somebody said they calling ICE. You could call who you want to. They got good lawyers. ICE got good lawyers. Shoot. But ICE ain't going to be the ones who going to do it. They going to get the little local police department, the flunkies, the crash dummies, the local crash dummy police. And they going to go find a cop who want a name for himself, somebody looking for a clout. He looking for clout. He put handcuffs on a disabled veteran. He looking for clout. Now I'm trying to get his job for the next year. For the next year, since you work at that department, Hernandez, I'm trying to get you canned. I'm trying to get rid of you, Hernandez. The next year you at that department, that's what my goal is to make sure you get fired. The next year you at that department, that's my goal, is to make sure you get fired, Hernandez. Because, yeah, I'm a file in the court. You already know. And I got proof of service. I don't care if they don't deliver it to you. I mailed it to you. You got proof of service. They can mail it back. I got proof of service. Yeah. Not just him, the police department too. And I need discovery from the custodian of records. I'm coming. I'm gonna make that city think they under litigation, and that's been 3 days ago, and they ain't going to court for 3 months. But that's what they gonna be facing. They gonna feel like they in a real court case. I ain't even got started on them yet. I'm gonna hit some buttons I ain't hit on them in a long time. You can't play with me like that, bro. You play with me like that, bro, I'm gonna give you your money, so you gonna get your money's worth from me. Every dollar of it. I don't care who you are. Hold up. What's the question, Aristotle? What's your last question, Aristotle? I'm trying to figure. Democrats win on policies by talking about affordability. Republicans win on policy by talking about affordability. It's that simple. There ain't no the policy that is going to determine the success of either party is going to be affordability. So if President Trump and them get the prices down, then affordability will be the argument that the Republicans will be using. And I don't know what the Democrats do. They probably will lose. If the prices don't go down, then affordability is the argument that the Democrats are using, and they're probably going to win. It's going to depend on the prices going down. I don't think it's going to be without some drastic policy or something like that. I don't think it's going to be possible for them prices to go down. I think it's going to need some drastic policy change for them to go down. I really do. That's what my opinion is. So. Well, Aristotle, that is true. The money do come from the taxpayers. That's why you need to fire the police officers who don't act right. We don't want crooked cops. These police officers need to be trained. They're not trained. I'm saying this cop is telling me that he is not trained in the Americans with Disabilities Act. He's telling me that. He told me I'm not trained in that. It's 5, 6, 7, 8 cops there. I asked every last one of them, and they looking at each other. They don't even know it halfway. They heard of the Americans with this, but they ain't trained in it. So you're not trained on how to deal with disabled people. You got 200,000 people in your community. You think Ghost's the only disabled veteran? You think Ghost's the only one with a behavior disorder? You think Ghost's the only one who got a disability you can't see? Physically most of the time. So you ain't training them on how to deal with people with disabilities. You know that they violating civil rights. You know that. They're not trained. How could they not violate the civil rights? And they're admitting publicly they're not trained. They're admitting they're not trained. You need to start training your officers like they do in Kalamazoo, Michigan, on how to deal with people with disabilities. Because in Kalamazoo, they're trained on that. And for the places that they don't train officers, they won't dispatch police to phone calls that don't need a police officer. They would rather not show up. That's how they don't get sued. That's a good police department. I've been to different cities in different states, 17 states. I seen Knoxville, Tennessee Police Department. I sued somebody in Knoxville. It wasn't no police department. I filed 16 lawsuits in Texas. I never sued a police department. I can't say that about Mississippi because the police department got sued. I filed a lawsuit in Tennessee. It wasn't the police department, though. That police department don't have no problems. If I filed one in Michigan, it wouldn't have been the police departments. Michigan police departments are, I don't know if that's the governor. I don't know who you credit that to. The local police too. Michigan police departments, they do a good job. But I'm saying on the real though, like if your police department is out here arresting a disabled veteran for having a regular argument in a parking lot, then hey, you gonna get what's coming to you. You already know you are, bro. When you pulled the handcuffs off, somebody should have told you, bro, it was coming to you. You finna get a nonstop barrage. And you want to pull them out again, You talking about stay strong? Okay, I hear you, bro. Stay strong. I'm finna come arrest you for parking in the wrong parking spot. You're going to do a whole 2 weeks in jail for parking in the wrong parking spot. I'm finna come arrest you for parking in the wrong parking spot. Stay strong. Y'all, that's my time. Because I got to do a crime for you to be able to say that. Like, you could talk. They talking to me like I'm John Gotti, or I'm like I'm out there banging, or I'm selling dope, or I'm even buying drugs, or I get anything illegal. There's nothing illegal that I'm doing. You a traffic citation, bro. You trying to lock somebody up for a month, and the traffic citation gonna get you sued. You gonna get mammy ducked. Those are civil right. Those are good civil rights violations. Are definitely happen. They usually happen in traffic citations. Look it up. Y'all don't know. I studied it with the police. That's why they changed a lot of those policing laws because they usually happen with a normal traffic stop. You come from me, bro. You gonna get what you're looking for. I promise you, bro. I'm finna go to work right now. When they tell me to go to work, oh, I got some work. I got some work. I got some work. I'm finna go to work right now. Right now. So whenever you ready, cut the lights on. I told you that before, didn't I? And you still it ain't enough for you. Cause some people they mind. Look, they told me that they were going, for y'all who don't know, they told me they was gonna arrest me. I told them cut the lights on. They cut the lights on. And in the end of it, they should be like, yeah, we got him. He got arrested. We got it. But that ain't how they are. Yo, we gonna get you again for a long time this time. And after that happened, you would think that they'll be like, yay. Nah, it ain't gonna be like that. I'm telling you, it'll never be enough for them. They'll always be trying to look for more because they can't win against me. They going against God and they don't realize it. You hustling backwards. They locked Nelson Mandela up for 45 years. Look how that story ended. They locked him up for 45. Think about that. I'm 45 years old. They locked Nelson Mandela up for as long as I've been alive. Look how that story ended. I mean, what you want me to say? I'm a freedom fighter. I'm a justice fighter. What happened with Martin Luther King and them? That's what freedom fighters and justice fighters. Some people say they are, but they're not really. They say they're freedom fighters. They're saying, I'm living. That's what I am. I'm not concerned or worried about nothing you can say or throw at me because I got something to come back at you with. And what I got to come back at with you going to hold longer. Because whatever you come back with me, you going to end up dropping it yourself. You going to drop it yourself. I ain't even... The documents I'm sending, I'm never going to ask you to drop that charge. You're going to drop it yourself. I promise. You got 2 years? I got 2 years on you, minimum of 2 years on one case. That's no appeals, no nuts appeal, no new lawsuit, none of that. Just one case. I got a minimum of 2 years on you. Minimum. And I could sue you 6 times legally. Boy, I'll be on your head for the next 5 years straight. I'll have you filing injunctions for the next 5 years. Guys, that's my time, man. I love every last one of y'all. Y'all see, I tell y'all all the time, when problems get bigger than me, I'm used to fighting people bigger than me. It'd be a million of them. And 1, 2, 3, 5,000 police departments. I'm by myself. But I got God with me, though. So I'm never by myself. You can't be God, man. You cannot be God. You could try, and you could try to rest of you till you die miserable. A poor, sad man. Look, they get stuff, they ain't get satisfied. I'm talking about, I get a $20,000 lawsuit, I'll be satisfied. I don't be worried about people. You know what I'm saying? That bro, it's like they celebrate me being in jail, but like, oh man, that wasn't good enough. He didn't do nothing, and that cost you $150,000, you idiot. The next one gonna cost you $1 million, you idiot. Like, you be stupid. You gotta be the dumbest person in the world. Oh, I'm gonna call the police on him. He's sitting in the parking lot. How much jail time that's gonna get? And you know he gonna sue you. But they can't really wait till I do something bad because I don't never do nothing bad. So you just got to try whatever you can. I'm going to call the police on you for doing nothing. And hopefully they put cuffs on you. If not, I'll try again tomorrow and get the next police department sued. Guys, whenever I get in a situation bigger than me, I give it to God, man. I wake up every day, regardless of what I'm facing, bro, and I say, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I believe Jesus suffered, bled, and died on the cross for my sins. I believe that his blood that he shed pays for my sins, pays for your sins. All you have to do is believe. You have to repent of your sins and ask him to forgive you of your sin. And you have to believe he saved you, man. I think salvation is as simple as that, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to get saved at any time, you don't need any man. You could go to God on your own and ask him to save you. Y'all, that's my time, man. I love every last one of y'all, man. I will see y'all on Tuesday. That's the next time we going live. We'll be live again on Tuesday at 6:30 a.m. Eastern time. Next time we talk about President Trump and them $2,000 checks he's giving to Republicans, giving to Americans. Until then, y'all, that's my time. Big Ghost Rider, I'm out. I love y'all. And I thank y'all for stopping by and checking in with me. Cruising with Ghost Rider. Look, I'm finna ride with Ghost Rider. Look, I'm finna go ride, but y'all ain't donate this morning, so I ain't ride. Hopefully y'all donate soon. We pull up in Philadelphia, man. You know what I'm saying, on one of these episodes. But I'm just playing y'all. I'm out, man. I love y'all. See y'all next time.